Alright, everybody, it's Nash here, and today we're going to be going over part 2 and 3 of why I believe Bijan Robinson will be going in the top 15 picks of the 2023 NFL Draft. Now, he's starting to pick up some steam, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to be covering this. And I will be showing y'all the data today why I believe he will be going in the top 15 picks of the 2023 NFL Draft. So, if you like the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then comment down below your thoughts on the data that I am presenting to you. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. So, what is some of this data that I'm talking about? First off, where else to start other than the simple fact of how much teams are using the running back, and not really the running back, but in general, just calling run plays. But at the end of the day, if you're calling running plays, you're most likely handing that ball to the running back. From 2003 to 2008, you saw a 6-year stretch where 5 teams or more were using at least 50% run plays. And then you start to saw it taper off. And ultimately, this is a big point that people bring up for the D value of the running back. And they say, well, the running back isn't used the same as it once was. And that is kind of true to a point. There was a good period of the NFL, and specifically college, that's where it happened first. And you start to see the NFL game kind of catches up to college. It started to shift to more of a spread out attack, wide receiver focus, and defense. When you have that happen, you start to have more defensive backs in the league. When you have more defensive backs in the league, that allows you to attack with running backs. Well, what you're seeing right here is you're actually seeing the run usage going up. There's now, for the first time since the year 2009, we had 4 teams run 50% or more run plays. The first time since 2009. That doesn't sound like a devalued position to me. But I digress. We got more coming up for y'all. And another stat that goes along right with this one is the 1,000-yard rushers. 1,000-yard and 2,000 rushers by year. Now, one thing that I want to say about the 2,000-yard rushers, it is honestly not often since the year 2000 that you've had 2,000-yard rushers. You can only say this happened 4 times, once in each occurrence. So, getting a 2,000-yard rusher is pretty special. And to the people that like to say, hey, another point about the D value, and we'll be going over this later too, as my part 3, but you're getting it all in one video. The 2020 year, that was Jonathan Taylor, a running back taken in the 2nd round of the NFL Draft. We'll be going over that in just a second. But 1,000-yard rushers, you see it this trend line seems to mirror the previous trend line that we saw right here, okay? Well, what happens when we overlay them and we get this? Now, to avoid confusion, I'm going to get rid of that title because that title is ultimately going to confuse some people. But you can see this is when you overlay the 2 trend lines, this is what you get. 1,000-yard rushers in blue, 50% or more team rush percentage in red. Obviously, when you call more rush plays, you're going to get more 1,000-yard rushers. I mean, kind of common sense here, you know. But at the end of the day, I did want to show that. Now, at the end of the day, we live in a world that is motivated by money. And what is that money saying? Well, that money is saying that they're willing to spend the same amount of money today in the last 5-6 years as they were the previous 10 years. I mean, Saquon Barkley got paid just a little bit different. It's just they did the signing bonus, and I don't know even if that matters to any of y'all. I'm just pointing out, at the end of the day, his total money, he got paid $600,000 less than Reggie Bush did. Leonard Fournette got paid more than Adrian Peterson. And at the end, and these were good players. You're going to see later on when I go over this Jonathan Taylor stuff that I was showing. These aren't. It's not like these dudes were given a huge bag of money and didn't do anything. If you go and you look at the top 21 running backs to get paid since the year 2003, 12 of those running backs, over half, have come in the last 10 years. That that flies directly in the face of this whole devalue argument, especially when you consider at the end of the day, money, value. They're spending the money on the football players, and specifically this position. You go and you look. I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be positions that bust. Every position will. There's going to be wide receivers that bust. There's going to be linemen that bust. To sit here and act like you're going to avoid that, you're a fool. You are. But at the end of the day, that does not mean the running back is not worthy of being taken. And I actually do believe that the NFL has gotten much better at determining who is going to be a bust and who's not going to be a bust. Who's on the border, who's not on the border. Who is a for sure solidified guy. And that's basically what we're talking about here. But you go and you look, the average money per year, it follows that original trend line that we saw, that we were looking at. It took a little bit of a dip in the 2015, 2016 years. Then it picked right back up after those guys got drafted. Same thing, total money per year. You're starting to see this go back up. As we're starting to use more running backs are getting paid. And they're getting paid more money, too. So that was basically part 2 for you. Now we're heading into part 3. We're going into some more of the actual data showing the accuracy of the NFL and determining who are the guys that we pay, because we just showed you the pay data. We showed you they're obviously using the running backs more. Well, how accurate are they? I mean, if this just jumped out to you immediately, bravo. We've gotten pretty accurate. And let me clarify for this too, because you may need a little bit of clarification for it to jump out at you. These are the first round running backs. Every first round running back since the year 2003. If you look at the rookie starters, the last 10 years, they have been very accurate at determining who's going to be a rookie starter. And then also, furthermore, who's going to get a 1,000-yard rookie season. Who's going to be a productive rookie for us as a football player. The previous 10 years were not that inspiring. And actually, you can see why some guys were starting to think, hey, this running back position is devalued. Because you had guys like Donald Brown. You had guys like Beanie Wells. Now, Darren McFadden doesn't exactly fit this narrative. And yes, was he a rookie starter? No. Was he a rookie 1K year guy? No. Was he a really good football player? Yes. Does he fit this running back narrative? No. But you're starting to see that there was some accuracy that goes into determining who was worthy of being a first-round running back in the last 10 years. And to kind of show what I'm talking about right here is if you look at, so what you're seeing right now, the top, you've already seen that. Those are the first-round running backs that we've taken in the last 10 years in the NFL draft. Below that, those are all the second-round running backs. You got your Breece Halls, your Kenneth Walkers, your Jonathan Taylors, your Nick Chubbs, your Dalvin Cooks, your Joe Mixons, your Derrick Henrys. There is name after name in the NFL on that list. And it's easy to go, well, there it is. There it is, Nash. You can get all these guys in the second round, so why would you spend a first-round draft pick on these guys? Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, both of those dudes had a lot of carries in college, and the NFL does not like that. There is a legit theory going on with running backs having what they call tread on the tires. To go for the Longhorn football example, a guy like Deontay Foreman, he suffered that Achilles injury, but he still has a lot of his tread on his tires. So, theoretically, he's got a lot of juice left in him. Now, is he a young buck like the other guys? No. But he still has that tread. Now, you go and you look at a Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb, he had a little bit of knee issues. Plus, he split a backfield with Sony Michel. Who's Sony Michel? Did he have rookie 1K yards? No. But he got his team to 2 Super Bowls with his help. And also, he was a rookie starter. I mean, you go to Joe Mixon. Allegedly, he may have done some things that might be proving some people right. Allegedly. Derrick Henry. That was a guy that took a couple years to get to the point where he was the guy. And this is my other deal with a first-round running back. What does it mean to be taken in the first round? And I'll try and show y'all pretty simple as I can. Are you starting as a rookie? Are you starting as a rookie? That is the at the end of the day, when you're talking about a guy being taken in the first round of the NFL draft, obviously the closer you get to number one, the more you want that to be your franchise guy, okay? But at the end of the day, the baseline level of a guy that we're taking the first round, is he going to start for us? And then the further you get away. So if you already got if Bijan Robinson, he's a solidified starter. Okay, we're already taking him in the first round. That's like the pick 20-ish range and all that stuff, okay? Work from there. Do you think he's better? Okay, move him up a little bit. That's why I am so confident he will be going the top 15 picks of the 2023 NFL Draft. Because when you consider his athleticism, when you look at all the stuff that we've been given, all the data that the NFL has shown us and presented it to us with drafting running backs. I mean, at the end of the day, people are sitting here saying the same thing this year as they were before. When you had Melvin Gordon, you had from 2012 to 2015, there was not a single running back taken in the first round of the NFL Draft. The running back position is devalued. No one cares about that anymore. They're not willing to spend money on that position anymore. Melvin Gordon taken the 15th pick of the 2015 NFL Draft. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the question needs to be asked, has there been a running back worthy of being taken not only in the top 32 picks of the NFL Draft, but the top 15 picks of the NFL Draft since Saquon Barkley? And I think the answer is no. But I do believe that answer is about to change. Bijan Robinson will be this next guy. And be sure to tune in for part 4. My last part, I'm going to be breaking down some teams that I like. I'm going to be showing some ESPN analytics that they have on the draft. Really cool stuff. But this was the more data, analytical stuff. This was hopefully part 2 and part 3. Hopefully I did a good job. And again, if you like the video, drop a like on the video. And yeah, hope you all have a great day. Hook 'em.